Transurfer and the Transurfing Curious. My name is Renee Garcia and this is TransurfingTV. Before I get started, remember to subscribe to this channel. Let's push for the 10K, y'all, before Transurfers holiday, January 1st. And remember to like this video and comment below. My world is taking care of me to enter my daily giveaway for my reprogramming stickers. Reality 2.0 on Teachable. Gift yourself a new reality this year. I mean, what a good time to dive into the course and really take things to the next level if you feel so compelled to do so. And the Facebook group, International Transurfing Institute, check it out, y'all. So today, heaven and hell. This is really, I mean, if you want to look at the Bible as being, look at it through a transurfing perspective, I really think that when they were talking about heaven and hell in there, those are both accessible here on earth, right? You can experience reality as heaven, beautiful, living in paradise, getting all the things that you want, that you desire to have as a human being. Or you can be burning in hell, right? Watching the news, tripping out on yourself and your reality, unhappy, highlighting that sector of reality where disaster and pandemic and unemployment and all those bad things become the forefront of your reality, right? This is classically like the person that watches the news and they're just constantly talking about negative, and they're experiencing that layer of reality even if they're just at home, right? If they turn off the news and they did something else, they would experience another version of reality, but they're choosing to kind of live in a very low frequency version of reality where all is not good. I actually had an email come in a couple of weeks ago where somebody was just so negative. They said something along the lines of, how can you, with everything that's going on in the world right now politically, be saying this stuff and, like this whole ostrich with your head stuck in the sand vibe. And, these always make me laugh because I can see things very much from this transurfing perspective. I've created my own heaven and they have created their own hell. And what they're doing, in my opinion, when I get emails like this, is they're trying to get confirmation from their external reality that their theory about their reality is right? Or they want to bring others down to their layer of reality because then they'll feel, I don't want to say justified, but they'll feel content with their choice. And it all happens there's no awareness there, right? This person that's experiencing this layer of reality, this hellish layer of reality, where they actually feel compelled to reach out to another person that is obviously experiencing a better version of reality to try to convince them, no, it's hell right now. You live in hell with me, and this is the way that it is. I remember when I did my video on seeing magic in your reality, and somebody commented, it's time to grow up. There's no magic. You and your magical thinking, that's for kids, and you need to get real, right? And again, this stuff makes me laugh because evidence to support all theories, we know this in the transurfing modality, and they're right in theirs, right? They've chosen a theory for themselves in their reality, and they have collected all the information, evidence, and material they need to support that theory, and they have crystallized that sector of reality. That's their reality. But then this is mine, right? So both of these places are accessible here on earth. You can be in hell right now, or you can be in heaven. It's absolutely up to you. And I know, like this email that I got from this person saying, how can you do this, right? How can you try to convince everyone that everything's okay right now when clearly everything is all shot to hell, right? And in this person's stance, the first thing that has to happen, and I didn't try to do anything. I didn't try to convince them. I just said, well, good luck with that reality, right? I'm not going to try. Obviously, they know something's not right, otherwise they wouldn't be watching the videos and going to transurfing. So they're trying, there's something in there, the higher self is trying to connect them with some higher information that maybe will help them evolve a little bit, but it's not, I'm not gonna try to actively convince anyone of anything. But if that person's watching, I'm sorry I've called you out here a little bit, the first step in moving over from this to this is to acknowledge what it is you're doing. You're creating your own hell reality. And you have another choice, right? You can create your own heaven reality, and then you can start sort of breaking it down and figuring out exactly what you need to do to get yourself elevated to some of those higher tracks. So a few of the questions that I have today, for you to determine where you're at and how you can improve, how you can transcend to some of these higher places. For those of you that don't know my little visual illustration that I like to use for the alternative space and the different life tracks that are available to you, I like to see it as I have 10 levels that I have access to on any given day. The bottom level is the worst. That's like me with really bad depression, anxiety, things aren't going my way, things are scary, all is lost. This is hell, right? That's the bottom track. And then the top level is I'm on the wave of fortune. There's a lot of opportunity presenting itself to me. I feel a lot of love. I get a lot of love. I'm having fun. I see my reality as magical. I'm focusing on positive information and everything's looking up, right? And then there's all the different variations and kind of shades in between. So down on the bottom is the low frequency stuff. This is focusing on what you don't like. This is tuning into negative events on the news. This is focusing too much on like things like COVID and unemployment and the death rates and all that kind of stuff, the negative information, right? Again, death, bad. This is all the low frequency. This is the stuff that you don't want in your life, but for some reason it just is, right? I mean, obviously we know as transurfers that you're making the choice to focus on those things. But if you had to break it down of all the different things that you were focusing on, whatever it is that you wish wasn't part of your reality right now, that would be the stuff that exists on the lower tracks, right? And then the upper stuff is the stuff that we try to create exponentially, accumulate, get going in a bigger way, right? And this is all what we strive to achieve. So Vadim Zeland says it in the book, stop thinking about what you don't like, think about what you strive to achieve instead. So this is all the stuff you don't like, this is all hell, right? And then this is all what you strive to achieve. So a few of the questions that I'm presenting now, what are you focusing on? So what are you focusing on? Let's just say yesterday, okay? Today's a new day. I don't know what time you're watching this video, but let's just say yesterday. What did you focus on yesterday? Did you focus too much on death, COVID, bad news, negative things, unemployment issues, challenges with, quarantine and the holidays, kids not going to school or, remote learning or whatever it is, things that you don't like in a way that you don't like, right? So what are you focusing on that is contributing to the version of reality that you're living right now? What did you focus on yesterday that's contributing to your version of reality right now? And how can you tune out of this stuff, right? How can you tune out of these things, either shutting it off or moving entirely away from it, leaving all that stuff behind and going in the direction of what you strive to achieve instead? What is your theory? So is your theory right now that all hell is breaking loose and the whole thing's shot? Or is your theory that COVID and this whole thing is actually, a reckoning where a ton of people are going to evolve and benefit, and all sorts of change is going to happen in the world and with yourself? And how are you sort of living your theory today, right? So again, is everything going to hell? Or is everything, right, my world's taking care of me, everything is going according to plan, things are working out beautifully and will continue to do so with ease? This is heaven, right? Focusing on all this stuff and your theory that all is going to hell, that is obviously hell. I mean, this is really just Transurfing 101. And then what is your frequency? So let's say a good way to gauge your frequency is to think about your last interaction with another person. Did you get a phone call, or maybe when you were out for a walk, see a neighbor and walk up to them and have some sort of conversation? Or how did you engage with them? What was the frequency that you gave off? Was it like, oh God, I can't believe all this crap is happening, this sucks, and are you okay? And we're not doing so good, we're scared, and all the news has got us down, and blah, blah, blah? Or were you full of fun and love and positive information and try and keep it towards the good stuff, right? This is kind of how I gauge my frequency day to day, is watching myself when I interact or engage with other people. What am I? Like, am I that positive person that's sort of bringing the positive energy? Or I'm really not doing this anymore, but I've definitely caught myself doing that a few times. So gauging what your frequency is, and then deciding what it is you need to do to get your frequency up. So again, turning off the news, stop thinking about what you don't like, stop thinking about COVID and death and focusing on the negative information, or doing low frequency things, not getting yourself out and getting exercise. Maybe you've fallen into a bad fast food habit. Maybe you're drinking too much wine during the day, whatever it is, and really starting to clean up your layer of reality. This is why I presented to everyone the Quantum Boot Camp. Quantum Boot Camp is just moving from this to this, because you're cutting out the news, right? A 30-day media diet. You're taking anomalous action outside of your comfort zone. So this is getting you off of some of these tracks where things are just stagnant with negative information and you're doing the same thing every day, and getting yourself acting in a different direction, thinking in a different direction, experiencing some different sort of sensations or different opportunities or different, maybe you change your workout routine and get your blood pumping, you clean up your diet, whatever it is, and get yourself resonating at this higher frequency stuff, moving over to a better version of reality, right? It's pretty easy. You could make a move even if you're on the lowest track right now. You could make a move and get up somewhere in this area probably in a week if you really set the intention to do it. So again, what are you focusing on? What is your theory and what is your frequency? And what do you want to experience? Obviously we don't want to experience this, but you have the choice to do something else. If you want to make a different choice, set the intention, and really get yourself up to some of these more heavenly life tracks where things are better and things look more beautiful, and tuning out of all this weird negative frequency stuff. So let me know what your thoughts are on this video. Where are you? Did you take Quantum Boot Camp? Are you enjoying it? Are you up here? Are you aware of what it is you're focusing on, what your frequency is, what your theory is? And if you're not happy right in this moment with what it is you have, how can you act or start thinking in another direction that is going to get you up here? So thank you so much for watching this video. Remember to comment, like, and subscribe, and have a good day, everybody. Bye.